I came to New York last summer to find a job so we could move there with my son Gleb in 6 months. I was always drawn to that big apple. I thought it was inhabited by people who at a certain point in their lives left behind the comfort of predictability, traditions, customs, assumptions, expectations, and decided to become co-authors of their fate. On the second day, a friend of mine, Marion, with whom I was staying, said that she was working with the Russian director, Slava, on staging a play by Chekhov, the Seagull. And she said I should come and see rehearsal. And I did.
В Америку я приехал совершенно мною двигало одно, такая некая авантюра духа. Потому что интерес к Америке, он уже был совершенно в этом смысле определенный. Вообще у русских существуют мифы в Америке. Это очень интересно.
Нормально, все очень хорошо. Воздух, птички поют. Прекрасно. Simple.
It all starts very wonderful.
Nice. Wholly nice.
Complete nice.
In the beginning, there was a father. My whole childhood seemed like a long ride in the car that my father was driving. In the beginning, there was a garden. In the garden, there were weeds that my sister and I had to pull all day. Bread grows not on trees, my father used to say. We had to earn our bread so that life didn't seem like honey. In the beginning, there was a lake. My father would make a hole in the ice, and after the sauna, we would jump into its freezing water, and then would walk with our bare feet on snow. It was important not to think before jumping into that hole. I liked playing in the forest, building houses out of branches and pine needles. I felt like the forest was the only place where I could hide without being locked in. In the beginning, there was a lake, and there was a forest, and there was a family. In the beginning, there were 4 of us.
What is an event?
They're negotiating.
Each character is positioning him or herself against the other.
That which he loves the most attacks him the most.
Это все психиатр.
This is all for a psychiatrist.
А мы говорим о
Police
полиции.
report. About police report.
Police.
Меняется движение жизни.
Life changes.
Вот есть путь.
They say when people walk looking up, they live in the future. When I came to St. Petersburg 3 years ago, the first time after I left it, I found myself looking down all the time. When I was 7 months pregnant, I was in Los Angeles. But I came back home to St. Petersburg to give birth to my son Gleb. I guess I believed that we get our soul from the place where we're born and from those who surround us at the time of birth. My grandma outlived 3 of her children and 3 of their spouses, who all died in their 40s. At the funeral of her last child, she asked the officials if she could have a discount as a World War II veteran. And the official said, no, that's when you die, you get a discount.
Историю, как ты во время войны нашла 50 золотых монет. Помнишь?
Как это?
Ты нашла 50 золотых монет. Помнишь, ты нам рассказывала?
А где нашла я?
Во время войны.
Ну, может быть.
Как, где это было?
Не знаю.
Ну, вспомни, пожалуйста, бабуля.
Так я израсходовала. Нищим, да. Не жалею. Мне нельзя было это делать. В школе, в деревне, учителем, и потом в военное время ты должен авторитет нести до нищеты своей.
Ой, мороз, мороз, не морозь меня, морозь меня, моего коня. Я приду домой на закате дня. Я обниму жену на краю коня.
Принципов с этой подушкой, со всеми делами, что такое, Александра Константиновна? Маша, Маша, ты что делаешь? Между женщинами тут идет скандал. Могу не видеть каждого. То есть, хорошо, все нормально? Вперед! Я же видела Нину, она бы ее выгнала. Ну-ка, иди отсюда! Иди отсюда! То есть, хозяйка?
Once my father had to take me for a ride in his hunting truck. He was coming back from a hunt. He just killed a bear that was lying in the truck, and besides the bear there were 2 hunting dogs. And there he put me. The dogs were growling, and the smell of blood was so thick it hurt my eyes. I started crying and screaming. My father pulled over, walked around the truck, opened the back door, and slapped me on my face 2 times. And after that, everything in the truck became calm. The dog stopped growling, the bear didn't seem to bother us anymore, and we all fell asleep.
Волк, который пришел в чужую стаю, его запах раздражает других волков. Хотя это волк. И всем понятно, что это волк. Свой как бы, да? Нет, запах чужой. Чужой. Должно пройти какое-то время. То есть сейчас как бы время работает на меня, скажем так. Запах должен уйти. Я должен перестать быть чужаком. Но вы же видите, я же не просто жду, когда запах исчезнет. Я делаю все, то есть я делаю телодвижение. Я делаю телодвижение, чтобы завонять, как все.
Ты же не говоришь, что ты делаешь? Ты говоришь, что ты делаешь? Что? Так же нельзя. Туда, что происходит, Маша? Что происходит?
Say these words. What's going on, Masha? What's going on?
Причем произноси это шепотом.
Masha. Let's go.
Вот возьми здесь большую паузу.
Take a little pause here. Relax. Sit down. Masha. Let's go.
One thing about my mother is that she was always home. often see the same dream, how I'm walking in different terrains, looking for a place to lay down and sleep. And I can't find anything. Everything is taken. There are people everywhere, sleeping and laying around, and I keep walking and looking for hours.
Что ты мне переживаешь? Да что-то там же все написано. Написано все. Если хочешь прийти, вернее, взять меня, приходи и возьми. Да потому что полдень! Как так? Какой надо? Он же писатель, он же гений, он имеет право. Why don't understand me? Why?
Once I asked my father to stay with Gleb when he was 5 months old. He was very reluctant. He said he'd forgotten how to deal with 5-month-old people. But I had to go somewhere, and I couldn't find anybody else. So I asked him, and he came. When I came back, I found him lying on the floor, stretched from wall to wall, and Gleb trying to push his way through. He said he had to lay down so that Gleb could make eye contact.
She calls him what? Nothingness.
Non-entity. Zero. Zero. Она говорит реальный на сегодняшний день. Что он имеет как художник? То есть нет, ну как, ну да, ну нет спектакля.
And he understands
I get a job.
Bye-bye.
Right before I went to New York, my son had a strange dream.
There was an ugly town, and the artist moved into it. So all the ugly people started to have a war because the artists drawled and stuff. They didn't like that because they drew on all the apartments and it didn't make them pink and yellow. They just made them with drawings on them, not with Coca-Cola signs on them, just normal drawings. The ugly people started a war. They had pink tanks, the ugly pink tanks that were shooting normal cannonballs. But the artists had art tanks that shot pictures at them and when they shot pictures at them, it couldn't make the pink tanks see, so they crashed and blow up. So all these people went, ah! Help, paintings!
Stop harassing artists! Stop harassing artists! Stop harassing artists!
The artist group and defending the rights of street artists to display and sell in freedom.
Then the artists won, and they made the ugly town look like a beautiful town, and it was covered in paintings and stuff like that because they shot all the buildings, and it started like an art everything art.
For me, The Seagull is about a young girl who grew up on a lake, fell in love, and ran away from home to become an actress. After 2 years of harsh professional life, she realized that in our kind of work, whether we're actors or writers, the most important thing is not fame or glory, but learning how to endure and have faith in yourself. That faith in yourself cannot be taught. It can only be discovered through love and trust.
Ой, мороз, мороз, не морозь меня, не морозь меня, моего коня. Did you want to hear a Russian joke? A cow was climbing a pine tree. They say, "What are you doing, cow?" And he said, "I'm climbing a pine tree." "Why?" And he says, "I want to eat some apples." And they say, "What's the matter with you, cow? Apples don't grow on pine trees." And he says, "I know, I got some with me."
Moroz, moroz, nie moroz меня, nie moroz меня, моего коня.